There are 5 completely different biomes in Rust at the moment. Some will make you rich, some will ruin your mental health, and some you probably won't even want to play. So in this video, I'm breaking down 5 specific tips for every biome in Rust. These tips will actually make a difference in your game. We'll start with the green biome, then move on to a desert, then the winter biome, and quickly cover the jungle and ocean biomes. I've included timestamps in the description below, so you can skip ahead or revisit any tip you'd like. With that said, if you do find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out today's sponsor. Rust Clash is the only place you need to go if you want to dive into case battles. You can climb 3 free cases by using code STELIC or clicking the link in the first comment. Rust Clash also has a lot of new game modes like Tiles or Crash for you to test your luck. They have many deposit methods, including crypto, cards, and skins, and instant withdrawals with a store full of skins or any crypto. Don't forget about the free rain feature, which gives you random drops every 30 minutes, so you can get even more rewards. Climb your 3 free cases right now by clicking the link in the first comment, or go to rustclash.com and use code STELIC. Please remember, loot boxes sites can be addictive, so make sure you're over 18 and only spend money you can afford to lose. Good luck! Let's begin with the easiest and chillest biome, the green biome. Here you can easily find absolutely all resources in large amounts. If you need wood, you can find it pretty much anywhere, but it's more dense in forests, which are dark green on the map. Here's what they look like in person. If you need sulfur, metal or stone, you can find them in the mountains, which look like this on the map. And here's what they look like in person. If you need cloth, you can find it in the light green areas on the map. Here's what it looks like in person. And you're much more likely to find animals on the edges of the map if you need a low-grade fuel, because less people go there, so the animals aren't all hunted. Also, don't forget about berries. You can find them in the forest. If you see any, be sure to collect them, no matter what color they are. You can use berries to make different teas, and this is a really OP thing that will give you a huge advantage. For example, even a basic scrub tea will give you a 100% increase in scrub yield for half an hour. And if you use pure scrub tea, you will get a whopping 350% increase for a whole hour. That means that instead of getting 2 scrub from each barrel, you will get 9 scrub. Using this tea, you can easily collect over 2k scrub per hour and fully research the second workbench. And don't forget about other teas, that will also give you huge buffs. Another thing you should know is how to easily spot enemies hiding in bushes or trees. All you need for this is binoculars. Just click the right mouse button and look in the bushes. If someone is there, you will see a white dot above them. If you want to build a base in the most secure location possible, caves are the best choice. To find the cave, open the map and look for dark circles like this. If you're lucky and no one has taken this cave before you, it's the most secure place you can imagine for building a base. And finally, be sure to use a water well NPC. Even though it has been fixed and you can no longer buy a revolver or P250 here, you can still buy a bunch of useful items here for practically free. To find this NPC, look for yellow roads near the main ones with a yellow circle. Here's an example. Let's move on to the desert biome. The desert is one of the most dangerous biomes, because it can be too hot during the day and too cold at night, so you need the right clothes. The best gear here is default hazmat, which will keep you from getting too cold or too hot, and it also blends in with the surroundings. As you know, unfortunately there is no cloth in the desert. However, you can chop cactuses to get some cloth and food. The food is similar to forest mushrooms, but it gives you more hydration. Also, you can use cactuses to make traps. You can drive a horse onto a small cactus, and as soon as someone sits on that horse, they will take a lot of damage. You can also place a foundation on top of the small cactus. Once someone steps on this foundation, they won't be able to jump and will slowly take damage. Another way to create a trap is to hide the turret in the bushes near the oasis. For some reason, bushes here do not disappear if you build a foundation over them, so you can take advantage of this. And this trick will definitely blow your mind. Turns out that heaters can not only warm you up if you are too cold, but also cool you down if you are too hot. I have no idea how this works, but it's definitely cool. If you're after a ton of ores, clans and intense PvP, the snow biome is the place to be. If you are playing solo, it's best to avoid ice lakes and open spaces to prevent being raided by a clan. It's best to hide your base in the mountains, with one side facing the mountain for maximum protection. If you get wet in the winter biome, you will lose a lot of HP very quickly, especially at night. The best way to warm up and dry off quickly is to place a campfire and jump on it. This way, you will dry faster and lose less HP than if you stood next to this campfire. In the winter biome, temperatures usually range from -11 to -32 degrees, so it's essential to wear the right clothing. And the best clothing that will give you maximum warmth and protection is a poncho, a jacket, and a bandana mask. You can mix these clothes with others, but you'll need them to survive. To make your base more comfortable to live in, you need a few heaters and a battery. Of course, you can use campfires, but they don't heat up as much space as heaters. Just place the solar panel on your roof, facing north. Connect it to the battery and run a wire from the battery to the heater. This is the simplest system that will make your life a lot easier. By the way, the winter biome usually contains the main tier 3 monuments, such as launch site, Arctic Station, and others. So, in addition to resources, you will also have a lot of scrap and components. From the cold and empty winter, let's move to the warm and lively jungle. Tigers and panthers deal the highest damage in the game, so it's best to avoid them. They are also the fastest animals in Rust, so you won't be able to outrun them. If, for some reason, you're unable to avoid these animals, the best way to get rid of them is to jump into the water. Just like in real life, they are afraid of water, so they won't touch you. If there is no water nearby, you can use a shield to minimize damage. Using a shield, you can easily defeat any animal, even with a simple knife, so it's a really OP item. The crocodile is another very dangerous animal that lives in the jungle. However, it's much easier to get rid of him. All you need to do is look at the crocodile, because as soon as you turn away, it will run after you. And to dodge his bite, just jump to the side at the moment of the bite, and you won't take any damage. As you know, you can climb these huge trees and use vines to jump from one tree to another. However, if someone is hiding in that tree, you can cut it down to catch your enemy off guard. And you can do the same around your base if you decide to live in the jungle biome. This will make it easier for you to spot enemies, since there won't be as many places to camp. And finally, let's move on to the largest biome, the ocean. The boogie board has almost the same speed as a boat, and it's the only item in the game that gives you a third-person view. In my opinion, this is one of the most pay-to-win items in Rust at the moment. If you have found supply signal and want to call an airdrop, it's best to do this in the ocean. You will need a boat, diving gear, and a spear gun. Just sail as far away from the shore as possible and throw the supply signal into the water. In about 8 minutes, you'll be able to safely grab the airdrop and sail home with your loot. By the way, thanks to water, you can make the safest entrance to your base. Just go deeper into the water, build 2 high foundations, and check if you can put a TC on them. If so, jump down and build 1 low triangle on the right side. Build a doorway next to the triangle and enclose this 2x1 with walls and ceilings. Then, on the left side, build a half wall at the bottom and a regular wall at the top. Repeat the same on the other side and remove the bottom half wall. Now, your entrance is underwater, and as you know, you cannot use any weapons here. So you can forget about door campers, because they won't be able to shoot you. As you know, whenever you use a boat in Rust, it makes a lot of noise. But you can actually make the boat silent. Instead of holding down the W key, try tapping it over and over again. You won't go as fast, but it's much quieter. You can untie underwater boxes twice as fast by using a knife instead of holding down the E key. Write in the comments below which trick you like the most in this video and what other tips do you know to help new players. Let's help beginners improve faster. And also, if you want to learn even more about Rust, then I'm gonna share with you some of my tips and tricks to help you stop dying in Rust and drastically improve your game. This guide covers both PvP and PvE aspects of the game, making it useful for beginners and experienced players alike.